I'm so excited to finally be able to do a highly requested video for you guys. Today I'm going to be doing a 5-minute makeup tutorial for mature skin. So included in this video are going to be lots of tips and tricks on how to perform a quick makeup tutorial if you're over 30, 40, 50, all that. Stay tuned, there's going to be some great stuff in the rest of the video. You all have heard me talk about how important sunscreen is to any makeup application. So today I'll be using the Elta MD, the Broad Spectrum 40, and I'm just gonna apply that all over her skin. I've already worked it into her skin a little bit off camera. Next up, I'm gonna create a tinted moisturizer of sorts. So I'll be using a little bit of the Embryolisse moisturizer mixed with the Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk Foundation. After mixing these products together, I'm gonna work them into her skin. This is the brush that I applied the sunscreen with, so it's still sitting on top of her skin a little bit. That's okay. I'm gonna work it into her skin with a separate brush. Next up, we have concealer, and I will be using the Tarte Ultra Creamy Concealer. The more liquid and creamy products you can use with mature skin, the better. Powder tends to settle into wrinkles and fine lines and make you appear older. And in most cases, people do not want that. Another tip is that when you're applying product, lift up, moving everything upwards as opposed to dragging down. That just creates more wrinkles. My mom doesn't have any wrinkles though. She's beautiful. I will be setting this concealer with the Givenchy Prism setting powder. This setting powder is amazing because it blends everything so beautifully and doesn't do what I was talking about earlier in terms of settle into your fine lines. Next up, I'm gonna do her eyebrows. I will be using the Anastasia Brow Wiz in the shade Soft Brown. You will want to focus the product towards the arch and outer point of the brow. I'm going to set her brows with the Anastasia Brow Freeze. Next up, I'll be moving on to bronzer. I'll be using the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Bronzer in the shade 3. When in a rush, I typically skip eyeshadow. However, if you're wanting just a little bit of something on your eyes, I do recommend using a little bit of a bronzer because usually it just ties everything in really well and adds a little bit of warmth to your eye. I'm using a tiny bit of the concealer on the inner bit of her eye. And then I'm going in with the highlighter that she'll be using here in a minute, adding a little bit of a highlight. Next up, we're gonna be using blush, and this is the NARS Orgasm Blush. I usually like to apply a good bit and then take another brush and work it into the skin. Next up, we've got mascara, and we'll be using the Tarte Surfer Curl. Look down for me. Blink if you need to. This is her mascara, by the way. I'm being very sanitary. If you happen to get any mascara where you don't want it, either on your eyelid or on your under eyes, just leave it and let it dry. We'll go back with a spoolie here in a second and clean it right up. All right, so we will be using a gel liner. Look down for me again, and I'm just gonna go and fill in her upper waterline. This helps your lashes appear much more thicker. That's not a word. Much more thick? You tell me, you tell me. Much thicker than they actually are. Yeah, just a subtle thing to do, but I think it makes a big difference. So now I'm gonna do what I was talking about earlier. Look up for me, and I'm gonna go in and clean up that mascara. This also helps if you feel like you're a little cakey underneath your eyes. It can get rid of that extra product that's just sitting on the skin. So we're just gonna use a little bit of highlighter, lip gloss, and set our look. I've been loving this MAC highlighter in the color Champagne. Goes on the top of the cheekbones, nose, tip of the nose, bridge of the nose, above the lip, and then you can do a little bit of what's left over on your brush above your eye. The gloss I'm gonna be using for her today is by Buxom, and it's a plumping lip gloss. It's called Blushing Margarita. All right, move your lips together for me. Does that feel like there's enough on there? Mm-hmm. Awesome. Lastly, I'll set everything with the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Setting Spray. You guys, it is that simple. Thanks for following along as I've showed you how to do a quick and easy 5-minute makeup tutorial. Quite honestly, I feel like as you age, the less you do is sometimes better. The more that we cake makeup on, the worse it can look a lot of times. So I feel like this was a great look to show to you all. Mom, what do you think about it?
I really like it. Thank you for doing it. And I feel like I could actually do it. That didn't seem too complicated.
That's great. I'm glad to hear it. We'll see you guys next time. Let us know what other videos you'd like to see down in the comments.